Terence Crawford has set his eyes on a boxing super fight with undisputed champion Canelo Alvarez, and the pros are telling why Terence would be able to beat Canelo. Bob Arum, the former promoter of Crawford, is a huge admirer, but he thinks that Canelo would be a step too far for the current welterweight ruler. Rum stated you'd have to support Canelo in the fight because he's the bigger and stronger guy. We promoted so many Crawford fights, and he is a tremendous talent. I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight, though obviously Canelo would be a big favorite in that fight. Teddy Atlas thinks that no one should count out Terence in a bout against Canelo, and he stated Crawford has the ability to slow things down in the ring and to see things nobody else can see, and that's what makes his timing so special. Because of that, I cannot count him out of anything. Teddy went on to talk about Canelo being a huge test for Terence, but he knows Terence is aware of what he is getting himself into. Teddy stated, "He's the most calm guy. You don't think he'd be prepared for the power. You think it will be a shock to him. You think he'll be, oh my god, I didn't understand what I was getting myself into. That ain't happening with Crawford. He knows exactly what he's getting himself into and why he's the one looking for it. He doesn't have anybody with a gun behind him saying you've got to go do this. He's the one. It's a tremendous task because Canelo Alvarez is a tremendous fight." Tim Bradley thinks that Alvarez's previous performance was a dominant decision victory over Charlo proves that he wouldn't be able to finish Crawford. Bradley stated if Canelo couldn't knock out Charlo, do you really think he's going to knock out Crawford if Crawford can get off and avoid those big shots? Because you see the punches coming. Canelo is so predictable. You know a hook is coming. You know when a right hand is coming. There's a talk with him. Crawford is going to be able to see all of that if he can't get knocked out. He can outbox. Canelo Dimitri Bivol thinks Terence to be one of the best boxers alive and doesn't believe that he is foolish for aiming for greatness against Canelo Alvarez ball. As I stated when I stepped into a boxing gym, the first rule was to respect weight classes, but I don't know what Crawford is going to eat. He's the best fighter. Everything that he's planning shouldn't look like it's crazy if he's thinking about it. If he's talking about it, it means it's possible. Amir Khan thinks that Canelo can easily hit as compared to Crawford.
The differences between them. Canelo's stronger and is easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit. Clean. So really that's the difference. And they both hit hard.
Terence has made it apparent that in his eyes, Canelo is just another opponent that he must beat in the ring, and he stated I can't get in a ring thinking if this guy hits me, he's going to knock me out, or if he connects, he's going to break my rib. I wouldn't even consider a fight if I think I can't handle that level of hitting, but Canelo isn't Deontay Wilder or anything like that. Canelo is a big guy, but at the same time, I believe in my skills. He's a heavy guy, but he's not a big guy. He's 5'7", and I'm 57 too. That fight would be good. Shakur Stevenson definitely thinks that Terence would be able to take Canelo in the ring.
Canelo said he's like,
Canelo, man. Canelo gotta get on that shit, man. I think the best versus the best.
You don't think the size difference gonna play a factor again?
I mean, that's y'all opinion. That's everybody else's opinion.
You don't think
My
that?
opinion is different. I think that Bud could do anything that he wanted to do. I think that with Charlo, it was just a different story. I think Bud got the skills that could keep him at that high level with Canelo, where the size won't play a part. And I see, honestly, like, Canelo is a great fighter. I see a lot of
Sugar Ray Leonard thinks that Crawford has the kind of talent that would enable him to defeat Canelo as long as he's not affected by adding weight to his frame. He stated, well, as long as it doesn't block him from moving or slipping punches, and just stay on the outside and just fight his fight. De La Hoya thinks that Bud has the superior footwork and backs Terence Crawford to defeat Canelo Alvarez, and he stated, first of all, I give Crawford all the credit in the world for even thinking about possibly fighting Canelo, but if that fight ever takes place, I have Crawford 1000%. Crawford is also a big guy who can handle Canelo because they're the same size. Crawford is a guy who punches hard, but he doesn't rely on his power. He relies on his footwork. He relies on his speed change. He relies on his combinations. He relies on his mind, and I think that Crawford is a way better boxer than Canelo. Brian McIntyre really thinks that Terence Crawford is more than ready to move up to face Canelo at a higher weight.
Well, Mac on social media about wanting the Canelo Alvarez fight. What's your thoughts on that?
Let's go. Hey, that's a challenge to me too, as a trainer. I want to try to, outthink Eddie Reynoso over there. I never faced him before, so, we ready. All we got to do is our homework. Boxer with a great puncher, that's going to be fireworks.
Do you feel that if the fight with Errol doesn't happen next, that would be sort of the aim for you guys at this point?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Davies thinks Terence could beat Canelo, but he feels it would need to be the right match for him to win. Kieran stated, "I've been in the ring with Crawford too. I got Crawford ready for when he faced Sean Porter. I was with him for a few weeks. What do I think about that fight? Everyone knows Crawford has got skills, but I do think Canelo is a little big. He's a little big for Crawford, and it would be a tall job for him to win. It would be a lot to get that win based on size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you have a guy that has size and skills. It would be hard. Nothing is impossible, but if I had my money on someone winning the fight, it would be Canelo Alvarez." Floyd Mayweather acknowledged Canelo's achievements, but he thinks Terence Crawford is the greatest fighter currently competing.
Who's the best fighter in the world?
We can't put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing. Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy. And he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Actually, Mikey Garcia gave Terence a great chance to beat the Canelo that we've seen in his most recent fights, and Mikey stated, "Crawford Canelo. I've seen the Crawford box very successfully. It won't be an easy fight for Canelo, so even though Crawford is officially the smaller fighter, he has the skill. He's also catching Canelo when he's not at his very best anymore. A couple of years ago, Canelo was dominant and knocking everybody out lately. He seems like he's slowed down a little bit with some injuries, but even with injuries or not, you've got to judge by what you saw in the fight if he is a little hurt or not as well prepared because of an injury, or whatever the case may be. That gives Crawford a much better chance." Roy Jones Jr. wasn't against the idea of Crawford coming up to face Canelo, but he'd rather see how he does against Jamal Charlo first. Roy stated, "I think he's a little big for Crawford. I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have hitting power and is sharp, but I think Canelo showed tonight he's pretty big. I'd rather see Charlo fight Crawford first and see how that goes. If he does well against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not right now. I want to see Crawford come up the weight classes and show he can be powerful at 150 for even showbiz. The adult thinks that Crawford has earned the right to face Canelo in the ring."
Canelo Alvarez. Does he have the power to hurt Canelo? Hell no. Triple G is one of the hardest punching middleweights of all time. He ain't hurt Canelo. But could Floyd hurt Canelo? No. Beat him from pillar to post. All it takes is enough power, enough speed, enough technique to make you respect. The difference between Floyd and Terence Crawford, though, is that Terence Crawford, he hangs in the pocket a little bit more than Floyd, giving Canelo Alvarez an opportunity. I'm not saying I got Terence Crawford. Lord knows I'm saying I got Canelo Alvarez. But at the same time, I'm saying Terence Crawford deserves to be in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, meaning that he has a chance.
Tim Bradley picked Terence to beat Canelo, and he thinks that he has a lot of confidence to go after a fighter like him. Tim stated Crawford has balls to beat Canelo. If there's somebody who can reveal Canelo, it's Crawford. Crawford's speed and footwork could be the keys. He's got the balls to beat Canelo. Crawford could rise to the task. He thrives under pressure. That's what makes him great. like this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.